one of the most frustrating and very challenging days when this happens. In this video, I'm going to share with you what you need to say first when you are criticized as a leader. Now, why is this topic specifically very, very important? Well, first, I want to preface this by saying that if you clicked on this video, you are meant to be here. There are certain topics that I post on my YouTube channel that are very, very advanced in terms of the topics themselves. And if you've struggled with this, or maybe you're being criticized as a leader right now, then this is really the place for you. I want to at least give you a step, at least one step to start working on first as you're navigating this challenge. So you definitely want to watch this video until the end to get the full grasp of how criticism can not only help you, believe it or not, it can actually help you showcase yourself as a leader, and it can help you elevate yourself as a leader as well. Most of the time, people don't think it does that. So you definitely want to watch the video until the end. Now, as I was mentioning, criticism is something, it does happen, and it can be very, very frustrating and can really, really bother you as a leader, because most of us as leaders, we're trying to do the absolute best that we can. We're trying to put the best foot forward, help as many people as we can. And that criticism, sometimes it comes from different places. So in this video, I'm going to talk about oftentimes where does criticism actually come from sometimes. And then in addition to that, we'll talk about what you need to say first when this happens. Now, if you are watching this portion of the video, you are more than likely watching the replay, friend, and welcome, welcome. Glad you're here today. If this content resonates with you and you like it so far, and you know you're trying to really elevate yourself as a leader in terms of how you're communicating, then this is the best place for you to be. Feel free to subscribe to the channel if you are interested. Typically in the YouTube live videos, there is a point in time where people will start to join the conversation. Therefore, give me just a few moments to say hello to them, and then we'll get started into how you can navigate this situation when you're facing criticism as a leader. Now, my channel specifically, if you're new to me, I focus heavily on advanced level communication skills and leadership strategies for individuals that are trying to elevate themselves. My mission here is to help you stand out from everybody else as a leader. And the way I do that is by sharing my over 20 years of experience as a director, as a manager, as a C-suite executive, as a public speaker, and an executive coach to help you fast track your growth. I have been in very friendly situations. I've been in very contentious situations, and I've had conversations with different congressional leaders over the years on the national level and on the state level. And so I've been in those conversations where you have to communicate at a higher level. And my role is to share all of that with you so that you can communicate at a higher level and stand out from everybody else. Now, welcome, welcome. Those of you who are present today, have you ever been criticized as a leader? Let me know in the comments below. Let me know. Let's talk about it today. And let me know what part of the big, beautiful world you all are joining from today, friends. Bubba Boucher, hello, welcome, welcome. Hope you're doing well today. Gracie Yost, 8211, welcome, friend. How you doing today? So Bubba Boucher says no. And let's see. We have Princess V9K, welcome, welcome. So Princess V9K, we just started. This is actually not necessarily a vlog. This is definitely more of a instructional type of video. I am here to help leaders communicate at a higher level than their peers. So if you've ever wanted to really go to those advanced levels in your leadership journey and you're dealing with maybe some challenging conversations, maybe you've been criticized as a leader, then this is the best place for you to be, because I will help you get to that next level, friends, and help you get to where you need to be. I genuinely believe that people become great by how they communicate. So my mission here on this earth is to unlock the greatness within you. I do this by sharing with you over 20 years worth of experience, as I was mentioning a few moments ago. So I appreciate y'all being here. Let me know what questions you have about managing criticism. Have you ever been criticized before as a leader? If you have, let me know what happened. Let's talk about it, and let's talk about a strategy. If you have not, that's okay. You're going to learn how you can address this issue when it happens. So let me see. We have Bubba Boucher says, really, and Gracie Yost, 8211, I subbed. Well, thank you, Gracie. Grace, I appreciate you being here. Welcome, welcome. You'll learn a lot of information here. I typically go live Tuesday through Friday in the mornings, in the evenings. If you are serious about going to that next level, definitely take a look at my live streams. There's a lot of great information there about managing difficult conversations, maintaining eye contact, controlling your emotions under pressure, thinking on your feet. A lot of great information out there that focuses more on those very advanced communication skills that you need as a leader. Now, for those of you who are new, I wanted to let you know, let me see what else is going on in the chat here. Hold on just a moment. And Bubba Boucher says, nice. And Bubba Boucher says, I subscribed. Okay, well, welcome, Bubba Boucher. Welcome to the group. Now, here on this channel, I talk to leaders, and this is definitely what I do, is working with leaders to help them. In terms of my one-on-one clients in my executive coaching practice, I work with women in leadership. However, on my channel, I have a mixture of women in leadership, and I have a mixture of men in leadership on this channel as well. So the information I'm sharing with you truly does transcend gender. You're going to learn a lot of information, whether you are in my direct audience I provide one-on-one executive coaching to in terms of women in leadership, or you are a man in leadership, you're going to learn a lot of information here. All right, so we have a couple people that have joined. Grace Yost says bye. Bye, Grace. Look forward to seeing you soon. Danielle Keys 2457. Welcome, friend. How you doing today? Is this kid friendly? This video is not for kids. However, if you are watching it, you're welcome to do so. There's no cursing here. There's no inappropriate language. If you're trying to learn how to elevate your communication skills, then Danielle Keys 2457, this is the best place for you to be right now. Sheila Strickland 7038, welcome, friend. How you doing today? Ember C7J, hi. Welcome, friends. Hope you all are doing fantastically well today. Have you ever been criticized as a leader? Let me know in the comments below so we can talk about it. The Greased, welcome. Hope you're doing well. The Grease says the annoying deer will decide, but first he shall listen. Okay, well, glad you're here. Welcome. Ember C7J says you are so beautiful. Well, thank you. I appreciate that. And the Grease says, which it is wonderful. The Grease says, so yes, family friendly. Yes, absolutely. We have A.S. Gore, Y7I. Welcome, friend. How you doing today? Let me know where you all are joining from in the big, beautiful world today. I appreciate you all being here on the live today. Let me know where you're joining from. Have you ever been criticized? Let's talk about it. So as more people are joining the live today, when criticism happens to you as a leader, it can be very frustrating. It can be so challenging. And what I tell people to do, there's one strategy that I do always when you're criticized as a leader. Most of the time when you're criticized as a leader, it's going to be sometimes in a private setting, but a lot of times it's going to be in the public setting. So you want to be able to be prepared to answer someone that is criticizing you, especially in public. This is where you want to showcase your executive presence. If this is something that you are trying to develop, then you can take a look at several of my live videos here that talk about executive presence. I will help you get there. Now, before I go into what you want to say first, this is the first thing you want to say. If someone criticizes you as leader, let me see what's going on in the chat. There's a couple things coming up. The Grease says, no trolling is going to be done here. The Grease, you would be so surprised, friend, because I have had so many trolls on my channel, and for me personally, trolls, they go right underneath the bridge. So I handle them pretty well. I appreciate you mentioning that though, because oftentimes on YouTube, as you grow as a content creator, your trolls grow with you, and you will have people on here. I've had people, the Grease, say inappropriate comments, offensive comments, curse words, all kinds of stuff. So I appreciate you mentioning that, the Grease. I hope you, I appreciate you being the watcher of the live and making sure we don't have any trolls tonight. All right, the Grease says, even though it's hard, but this is a good short. Okay, well, awesome. I appreciate you being here. A.S. Gore Y7I says, I have a question. A.S. Gore, you are more than welcome to ask your question, friend. Feel free to do so. I'm here to support you on your journey to help you become an amazing leader. That's what I focus in on, is leadership, to help you communicating at a higher level. Now, if you are criticized, as I mentioned earlier, publicly, let me know if this has ever happened to you, if you're watching live or you're watching the replay. If you've ever been criticized, sometimes you don't know what to do. And what happens to many leaders is they are caught off guard. Now, I have a video here on my YouTube channel on my live streams, I believe, that talks about being caught off guard. You definitely want to check that one out and subscribe to the channel if you like this content so far. Now, oftentimes people are caught off guard, and when people are caught off guard, you know what happens? They stumble, they struggle, they don't know what to say, and it sounds really, 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 really bad. And this is something that is not the best way to showcase your executive presence as a leader. These moments when they come up when you are being criticized, as I mentioned at the very beginning, I know many of you missed it, they will either help to elevate yourself as a leader, and they will also help to define yourself as a leader also in front of other people. Therefore, you want to handle these situations in a very, very strategic type of way. Now, the first strategy that I tell my clients to do in a one-on-one setting when they are being criticized is to put a question back to the criticizer. So I'm going to go into an example of this in just a moment. I saw something come up on the chat. So AS Gore Y7I, okay, says something about a yard sale. So that's not necessarily this topic. This channel is very heavily focused on communication and elevating communication skills. So that part I don't really do too much. And I appreciate you for subscribing, AS Gore Y7I. I appreciate you being here. Definitely feel free to ask me the questions as it relates to communication, speaking, hard conversations, the hard things that come up as being a leader, and I will definitely take care of you. And I appreciate the heart emojis. Friends, thank you so much. Now, let me give you a scenario. Let's say you're having a conversation with someone and they criticize you. They say, I don't like, there is something that's going on with your project or with your business. I don't particularly agree with it because I think maybe you should be going in a different direction and etc. Now, when most of the time, let me give you a backstory of this. Most of the time when people are criticizing you, depending on your role, now if you are an elected official, then this may be just a little bit different. For a majority of us that are leaders that may not be necessarily elected officials, typically when there is a criticism, it comes from one of two ways. One way is that they have a legitimate criticism of what you're doing and they don't like it. But then the other part of it is there's an emotional tie to it. There's something about you they don't like. Now, earlier today, we had a live video this morning about what to do when you are undermined as a leader. Now, you may want to take a look at that because sometimes this topic we're discussing can go right into that criticism aspect also in terms of being undermined. So just keep that in mind. Now, if someone says that to you specifically and they're talking about, well, I don't like the way that you're doing this. I don't think this is the right results we're trying to go for, or you're compromising this, or you're not compliant with that. The first thing I tell my clients to do is this. The first thing you need to do when you are criticized as a leader is to reflect a question back to the person who is criticizing you. Let me explain to you why, and let me tell you an example of a question that you can use whenever this happens to you as a leader. Now, before I go into that, if you like this information so far, feel free to put a thumbs up. It gets the video out to more individuals here on YouTube. Why do you need to reflect a question back to them? So many reasons why you need to do this. Are you ready? Definitely want to get a pen and paper and write this down. The first reason why you want to reflect this back to someone who is criticizing you is to, number one, buy yourself time to think. Typically, as I mentioned at the very beginning of this live or in the middle of it somewhat now, when people are criticized, they are caught off guard. They're like, I don't know what to say. I'm not sure what I want to say, and etc. And it comes across as not being a polished or affirmative response. They're just like, I'm not quite sure. Those type of things that happen. If you're subscribed to my channel, you know this is not going to happen to you if you're subscribed to my channel, because this is what my expertise is in, and I'm going to help you do it also. So it gives you time to think. Okay, if you ask a question back to that individual, that gives you just a few moments to start processing and thinking in your mind, how do I want to respond to this question? How do I want to respond to this question? That's the first thing. That's the first thing that will happen if you ask a question back to the person who's criticizing you. The second thing that will happen if you ask a question back to the person who's criticizing you is that they will be caught off guard, right? Because most of the time when they feel like they can just criticize you as a leader, there is something intuitively in them that feels like, yeah, I'm going to just criticize this person as a leader right now, and they're not going to do anything about it. However, what they don't know is that you subscribe to my channel and we know how to manage these type of situations with ease. So if you put the question back on them, you're catching them off guard. It's like a game of passing a ball. Okay, they throw a ball at you and you're like, I don't like this, I'm throwing it back. So when you do that, that person is going to have to sit there and think about, oh, well, what are they trying to say? Like, let me see, what do I need to say? And all while they're trying to figure out how much time they are trying to say, then you have time to process specifically what it is that you are saying and what you want to say and how you want to phrase it. Now, before I go into what you can actually say, let's see what's going on in the chat, because there's a couple of things that came up. AS Gore Y7I says, are you the only one here? No, friend, there's several people that are on the live right now. And then remember, these are lives, and I'm glad that you all are here with me right now, but my audience will watch this in the replay. So there's never a point where it's just you by yourself. There's probably other people watching. Just on my end, I can see the count going up, but you know you're not here by yourself. Okay, we have Iconic Stay XX_Chan Megan. Welcome, friend. How you doing today? It's me. I was Skills. Oh, okay. SK. Oh, you. Okay. It's me. I was SKZ for life. Well, welcome back, friend. Hoping you are doing well. And also Free Shalep. Oh, welcome, friend. How you doing today? Welcome back. Welcome back. I appreciate you being here. I know I feel like it's been a couple weeks since I've seen you on here. So welcome. Glad you're here today. We had a big milestone on the channel yesterday. We hit 500 subscribers, and I know you're one of them. So just wanted to share that with you, but appreciate you being here again, friend. Okay, so what can I share with you that you can say when you are criticized as a leader? Are you ready? I have so many things you can say, but I'm going to at least give you at least one thing to start. And I appreciate the heart emojis there. So if someone criticizes you, this is a default response that you can use and will help you any way that you can. I always tell people to please give me an example of what you are referring to. Now, do you see how general that is? It's so general, it encompasses everything. Because a lot of times when people are criticizing you as a leader, as I mentioned, there's sometimes an emotional component to it where they don't like you. Whatever it is about you, they just don't like you. And they want to find something to say about you because they don't like you. And oftentimes they are speaking to you from emotion, not facts. You, as the leader and the person that can handle yourself under pressure when you're criticized, can bring the conversation back so that you are in control. And you say, okay, I appreciate you mentioning that. Can you please give me an example or some data in terms of what you're referring to? While they're thinking, you have time to respond to what they're saying. Majority of the time, it's going to take them a little bit to have numbers in their mind. That's why I'm very big on making sure that you have some type of data, statistics in your mind at all times as it relates to your specific discipline that you are in every single day, because you need those numbers. And if you ask that person that's criticizing you to give you specifics and say, I need to know specifically what you're referring to, they have to come up with it. They need to come up with some specifics, because most of the time they don't. Most of the time they will not come up with specifics, and they will just talk about, well, I thought, and that's particularly the response that I've seen that will happen. But if you are the person that asked them for that, it shows that you are in control of the conversation, not them. And most of the time when someone's criticizing you, if it's a legit criticism, then fine, then provide me with some data so we can have a conversation about it and go from there. So I hope that helps you. Let me go to the chat because I saw a couple things come up. Iconic Stay XX Megan. I was gone for ages. It doesn't feel like ages. It really feels like it wasn't that long ago. It really doesn't. But I'm glad you're back. I appreciate you being back. And Iconic Stay XX Chan, Megan says, OMG, congrats. Well, thank you, friend. How far from here? You're a part of that. So I appreciate you. I did a video yesterday just doing more of a celebration video of the 500 subscribers. It's a huge milestone for my channel, and I appreciate you being a part of that because you've been here also on my channel as well. I appreciate you. AS Gore Y7I, bye before I go. I just wanted to say, when will you be streaming again? Okay, so AS Gore Y7I, I stream Tuesday through Fridays in the mornings, in the evenings is when I stream. Tonight, I normally do not stream this late, but my kids had trunk or treat today, and so they've been getting candy and they've been hanging out and etc. So that's the only reason why I'm late. I'm typically not this late in the evening, but I want to make sure I go live for my audience and support you all any way that I can. So AS Gore Y7I, I appreciate you for subscribing. If you have any questions as it relates to really elevating yourself as a leader, let me know. If you're a woman in leadership and need some direct support in terms of executive coaching and really helping you to communicate at a higher level, then feel free to let me know and contact me for a strategy session in the description below. All right, so we have Outlaw Yeats. Tell me how to pronounce that. Welcome, friend. How you doing today? Let me know what part of the big, beautiful world you are joining from today, Outlaw Yeats. I haven't seen you on the channel before, so welcome, friend. Hope you are doing well. And you're going to learn a lot of information about leadership and communicating at a higher level than your peers, so you stand out from everybody else on this channel. So feel free to subscribe. Okay, so AS Gore Y7I says, so your kids go to Goldendale, Golden Hill. No, I'm in the Sunshine State of Florida, so they go to an entirely different school. So Outlaw Yeats, am I saying it Yeats correct? Yeah, you said it correct, laugh out loud. I hope I did. If I didn't, I'm sorry. I'm sorry about that, friend. So we've talked about a couple things so far. I mentioned to you, and for those of you who are joining, glad you're here. I mentioned to you a couple things. When you are criticized at work, when you criticize as a leader, there's some strategies you have to put into play. Now, I'm talking about direct criticism. So on my channel, I talk about real strategies, real situations that happen. I am not the executive coach that has only worked with people in the past, and I showcase and talk to you about what you should do, or this is the leadership model you should follow, or maybe you should potentially look at this hypothesis or this formula, or etc. That's not this channel. This channel talks about real situations. And if you do not know, and you cannot tell, I have been in these situations. And that's the type of insight that you want to learn. Sometimes on YouTube, you'll run across individuals that you can just tell is so academic. It's not real world. Like, well, what do I do when this happens? This is what I talk about on my channel, and this is a great opportunity for you to subscribe and check out my live streams. I do have some pre-recorded videos also, but my live streams go into a lot more detail like this. So this is a great place for you to be. But nonetheless, we have talked about what happens when somebody criticizes you. This is what you need to say first. First, you need to put a question back to that person. Put the question back to them. Because you need to buy yourself time to think. This is what I tell my clients in a one-on-one executive coaching session. When you feel like you're caught off guard and you don't know what to say, you need to buy yourself time. Buy yourself time by asking another question. While that other person is thinking about their question and how they want to respond to your question, then you can think about how you want to respond to their question. It gives you a little bit of time. That is definitely an advanced public speaking type of skill, but that's what I'm sharing with you all here on this channel because I want you all to elevate in terms of how you're communicating. I gave you an example of a question that you can use. I have many questions. If you want to learn more, let me know. If you've ever been criticized as a leader, let me know in the comments below. And what did you do? What did you do? How did you handle it? Let me know so we can talk about it. So I gave you a specific question you can ask. This is the most general question you can ask when someone criticizes you as a leader. This is general. Templated response. Write it down. It will help you in every leadership scenario that you have when you are criticized. Ask the person, you can acknowledge them and say, well, it depends. Sometimes you want to acknowledge them and sometimes you don't. Now that's a whole nother conversation we could talk about another day. But I would say, generally speaking, you could say, please give me an example or some data specifically of what you are referring to. It is so general that you can say it in anything. because that person that's criticizing you probably does not have any data to share with you. And then this is your opportunity to make that person that's criticizing you look like they probably shouldn't have said anything to begin with. Because once they respond back with, and I'm not sure what to say, then everybody that's watching is looking at them and saying, why did they even say anything? Why did they even say anything? They didn't know what they were talking about. And that showcases you as a leader, and that, my friends, is how you develop and showcase your executive presence. It's critically important for you to have as a leader. I know a lot of times people think it's a hype and it's just something made up, but please learn from my over 20 years of expertise, knowing that this is real. I've dealt with congressional leaders on the national level, on the state level. I've been on the news. I've been in as a C-suite and as a director. You're just gonna have, you have to have it. You have to have it. It's not a mystical creature. You need an executive presence for sure. All right, so AS Gore Y7I says, bye, friend. Hope you're doing well. Outlaw Yeats, bye, Dr. Jacinta. Well, bye, friend. Glad you're here. I appreciate you stopping by and hope to see you soon. Keelan Yang 3042. Welcome back, Keelan. Guess what? We hit 500 subscribers. High five. Yesterday. So I appreciate you. I know you're a part of that group. So welcome back, friend. I'm glad to see you again, Keelan. All right, Outlaw Yeats says, have a good day and a good weekend. I will have an amazing weekend now that you have came to the channel. I appreciate you being here and I appreciate you all being here. And if you have any questions specifically as it relates to this particular topic, then let me know in the comments below. I'm here to, I deal with the hard conversations. That's my expertise. You're having a hard conversation, let me know what you're doing. I will help you come up with a way to make it easy for you, hopefully, and not as hard, and still showcase yourself as a leader. All right, Keelan Yang 3042 says, cool. Well, thank you, Keelan. Yes, I did a video yesterday on my channel talking about the milestones. So 500 subscribers is really exciting for the channel. Keelan Yang 3042 is a part of that. So I appreciate Keelan for being here today. And it is a lot. It is a big milestone. I know this is a bit off topic, but YouTube is a very, very different type of, I would say, environment compared to Instagram and LinkedIn and Facebook. All of those platforms, as I mentioned yesterday, I can send a connection request and connect to somebody. They'll probably connect back with me. Or same thing on any of the other platforms. YouTube is not as easy. It is definitely a lot more challenging to gain subscribers. And the subscribers, like we have Keelan Yang 3042 and my subscriber. Let me go back to your name because you just changed your name. So let me make sure I get it correct. Iconic Stay XX Chan Megan. You all have been amazing. You give me so much interaction in the channels, and this is really what live streaming is about. And having a community of exceptional leaders is about having individuals just like the two channels I mentioned being present and really giving some really great feedback also here on the live streams. I appreciate you all so much. I'm glad that you're here, and I'm glad I could at least share it with you so you know where we are and that we're growing. Feel free to share this information to anyone else that is trying to elevate how they are communicating as a leader. They will gain some insight here. I promise you, there is something on this channel that you will learn, whether you have been in a leadership role for a short amount of time, a long time. If you have been a public speaker, have you been a public speaker in challenging situations? You will learn something here. And so feel free to share this out to your colleagues, your friends. I'm here really to support as many of you as I can on my journey. Even if you're not in my direct target audience in terms of who I have executive one-on-one coaching services with, in terms of women in leadership, you will still learn a lot of information here that will help you navigate the very complex and sometimes challenging conversations that we often just don't know what to do. We don't know what to do. We don't know how to say it. We don't know when to say it, where to say it, all of those type of issues that come up. But on this channel, you're going to learn how to navigate those very challenging situations. And if this video was helpful to you, let me share with you a couple of videos on my channel that I would recommend for you to take a look at very, very soon if you're working on the criticism as a leader. First is going to be a live video that talks about handling your emotions under pressure. I have several videos that talk about handling your emotions under pressure, so you want to absolutely check that out. You want to also take a look at a live video that talks about managing difficult conversations. This is something I would definitely take a look at also. It will help you there. I have a video, it's not an older live, but I would say it was earlier this year, that talks about thinking on your feet. That's a great lesson video you want to check out if you're dealing with criticism at work. Another one is eye contact. That will help you as it relates to dealing with criticism at work. I have several videos on eye contact. For those of you who are on and subscribe to my channel, you know where I'm going with this. Watch out for the cowboy. The cowboy is my eye contact analogy I use every single time to help someone learn how to master eye contact. This is what I do in my one-on-one executive coaching session. So if it sounds interesting to you, you can contact me in the description below if you're a woman in leadership. And I have the Real Executive Woman, which is my transformative leadership program that goes through this as well. These are a couple of videos. These are just a few of the very many videos on my channel that will help you if you are specifically dealing with this challenge of being criticized at work or criticized as a leader, especially in a public setting. You will have this happen. This is a part of the wonderful world of leadership. And so I want to make sure that you are prepared and not that person that is caught off guard when these situations happen. I don't want that for you. I want you to be the person that is just sharp, that says, oh, okay, this person responded as a criticism. This is what I need to do. Now, I mentioned to you the first thing that you should say. Now, there's a lot more that goes into handling criticism as a leader. And let me give you a teaser to that. Your facial expressions, your body language, your tone of voice, your eye contact, etc., etc., etc. If you want to learn more about these, then put it in the comments below and subscribe to the channel, because you're going to learn a lot of information about this. And if you know as a leader, you're not doing the best that you can in terms of handling criticism publicly, then that's what you reach out to me for, a friend. Contact me for a strategy session in the description below. And if you're watching the replay, feel free to put a comment. Let me know if you've ever had criticism or experienced criticism as a leader in a public setting. Let me know in the comments below. What happened? What did you do? Let's learn together in terms of strategies and techniques that will help all of us to be able to elevate how we are communicating. I hope you all have an absolute amazing weekend. I will be back next Tuesday going live with you again. As I mentioned earlier, I go live Tuesday through Friday. I'm trying to do 2 lives a day, 1 in the morning, 1 in the evening. So feel free to join me there and learn how you can make that big impact on the world by how you are communicating. I hope you have an amazing weekend, and I will see you all live. Let me know if there's any topics you want to learn about. Leave a comment on any of my videos. I will absolutely do a video just for you, friend, and give you a shout out if you would like for me to. So have a wonderful weekend, and I will see you all in the next video. Bye for now.